Welcome to Biotrack Sailing and Ahoy Adventurers. For the past couple of months, we've been embracing the beauty of Indonesia, sailing through its pristine waters and uncovering hidden gems. Remember Catherine, my dear friend from Boston who met us in Raja Ampat? We flew the South African flag in her honor when she arrived because that's the country of her birth. And together we've set sail from the mesmerizing Raja Ampat to the enchanting Wangi in the Wakatobi region. As soon as Catherine arrived, she dove in, literally, to scuba diving and sailing life. In today's episode, we continue to explore Wangi before raising our sails, venturing forth to other Indonesian paradises, and making our way to Lombok, which will be our gateway for the great Indian Ocean crossing. But as the tides turn, so do our stories. Our mate Catherine? While most of us were busy trimming sails, navigating, and soaking in the sun and sea, she's been negotiating her future. And guess what? She's landed a golden opportunity back in Boston. The winds of change have called Catherine back to the hustle of biotechnology. A bittersweet farewell at the Komodo airport, but new beginnings for our brilliant friend. So come sail with us and embark on another chapter of our Indonesian Odyssey. Let's dive in. That's a little party boat. So Catherine, you wanted to tell the story.
Yes.
About how we met.
Everybody on the rally and everybody I met have always been very curious about how Lisa and I are friends. I had just gone to Boston, it's actually now 12 years ago, and Lisa and I were having dinner and we didn't know each other.
And I was in the process of moving to Boston,
yes,
also to start my company.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we were sitting next to each other at a bar, and I was about to order my glass of wine, and I saw she was having a glass of red wine, and I said to her, "What are you drinking?" And I said, "Well, can I have a taste?" And then we got to chatting, and she was looking at staying in the places temporarily in Boston. Airbnb. And I said to her, "I have a free, it wasn't actually a bedroom, it was like a study." I said, "You should come and stay with me." And that was the beginning of a really beautiful 12-year friendship.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you came to Florida because Pierre had a company in Florida and I was commuting back and forth, and you did some boating with us. We had a motorboat then.
Yeah, I got to dive in the Florida Keys, and we went to Bimini when we dove in Bimini, and we had lobsters and ceviche.
Yeah,
it was a really good time.
Yeah, we've had some good ocean times together. Yeah. But the first time on an ocean-going sailing catamaran, and you do have to work hard. It's not all vacation.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of hard work.
So what you're going to see in this video coming up is we're in Komodo right now, and we've done some scuba diving. We went to see the Komodo dragons, and we've just generally had a nice time here. And we're in a beautiful anchorage where we can take Tiller for a walk on the beach, and so that's been pretty nice too.
Yes. Yeah, Tiller has been a highlight. She's a sweetheart.
She is a sweet dog. We are Pierre, Lisa, and our furry crew member Tiller. We are sailing around the world in our Outremer 5X catamaran. Having crossed the Panama Canal and the Pacific Ocean, we're now in the Indian Ocean and sailing in Indonesia. In Wangi, we were befriended by some high school girls who took us on a tour of the Bajo village, a village built on the water. Your name?
My name is Gita. My name is Fitri.
Fitri?
Yeah.
Welcome to my village.
Thank you.
Thank you for your coming.
Hello.
Let's go.
Hello.
That way.
The Bajo tribe initially only lived in boats, but long ago started settlements on houses on stilts. The population of the Bajo tribe in Wakatobi is just over 9,000 people. We went on an excursion to the Bajo village, which is a village built on the water. Tides and currents keep the water crystal clear, despite knowing what kind of toilets they probably have in those wooden houses. We could not smell anything except for a fresh sea breeze. You can do it, Catherine.
Woods of the boats, like this. Used to be they wooden boats from woods, and then right now, because the wood is very difficult to find. That, yeah.
Aquarium fish. Wow. out Noma wanting to buy some fresh fruit. In Boston, Catherine and I often went to the gym together, and on the boat we kept up some good routines. Traveling, it's great to dine with friends, but in Wangi the options are limited, and there's generally no wine in the restaurants. We discovered a really nice beachfront spot to enjoy with Palm 3. The men, however, stayed back due to windy conditions and the incoming rally boats so they could assist at the dock. And with the Women's Festival going on, we thought a women's lunch would be appropriate. So before the afternoon festivities would begin, we headed off with our own wine to a beautiful beach restaurant. Yes.
Yes. Why not?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, more wine.
For the women, for all the women,
Okay, let's do it.
all beautiful women.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers, Lisa, my friend.
Cheers. With wine.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And we had way too much food, and so we gave it to our driver, and he's taking it home for his family. And because we reserved for 7 people, and in the end we're only 4, because all the boats arrived and the men wanted to stay to help. Part of the rally program for Wangi was a snorkeling or scuba diving expedition. Catherine went diving, and I opted to snorkel because I had an ear that was bothering me a little bit. And later, one of the doctors on the rally had a look at my ears and gave me the all clear. The reef we visited was beautiful, with lots of sea anemones and clownfish, but there was evidence that it had suffered from some dynamite fishing, with broken coral in certain places. I'll tell you more about dynamite fishing and reef restoration in a future episode. In Indonesia, the sound of prayer seems pretty constant. The first prayers of the day start at 4:15 a.m. Some of the rally boats have left already. Pum has left, and Nop beside us has left, and the faster cats are staying because we're going to leave in the morning, and we should get there the same day. So we're going to Bajo, where we're going to get our visa renewed, and we'll explore a bit around there before we take off again. Bajo is not a tourist destination, and while dining options were somewhat limited, we were still able to get some provisions at the grocery store. Bajo might not have dazzled us, but it was intriguing to watch the children participate in morning school drills. After a brief stay to renew our visa, we set sail for Taka Bonerate, a renowned marine park. When we left Bajo, we anchored out near another island so that we could time better our departure so that we could arrive in the morning in the atoll where we were headed. As we waited for sunset, we watched the local fishermen at work. Under sail, there are lots of hazards to watch out for. In particular, these small fishing huts that could be anchored in thousands of feet of water. We're anchored in beautiful Taka Bonerate. This is the first northerly atoll, and it's really a atoll. It's a donut-shaped reef. There's no land, and we came in at high tide, so there were a lot of waves coming over the atoll. Right now it's high tide. You can see a lot of waves, and we were in here yesterday enjoying this all by ourselves, and the rally boats have come in this morning. I think there's some still on the way, so maybe about 5 rally boats. The winds have calmed, and we're going to have a beautiful day here. Yesterday, Pierre was able to do some wing. It's been a long time since he was able to do that and got up on the foil. And I'm here with my friend Catherine. We're on our way towards, it's called Labuan Bajo, which is an island near Komodo, so that she can catch her flight home. So she still has, 10 more days left? And we just want to enjoy anchoring and being in beautiful locations, showing her what swimming off the boat is like. So Catherine has never done sailing before, and I have to say we had a bit of a rough passage here. It was an overnight passage and the boat was going a little too fast, so we put 3 reefs in the main and took away the head sail to slow us down, and then went a little bit too far, my fault, a little bit too far, and I had a bit of an upwind slog to come back into the entrance of the atoll, and it was a bit rough for people, but you get used to it. So when we sail away from here, we're gonna sail towards the more southwesterly islands. These are the ones that most people go to when they're in Indonesia. So Lombok, Bali. The rally departs to go across the Indian Ocean from Lombok, so we won't get to Bali. We kind of like the out of the way places. And I have to say that Indonesia has been fabulous so far. Our stop in Wangi was really, really special. There were some young teenage girls who took it upon themselves to give us tours of the island. They were amazed to find out I'm a university professor and asked me a lot of questions about it and about school, so hopefully I gave them some good advice. So yesterday we were at anchor here and a fishing boat was going by and we waved them over and we were asking them, do you have some big fish? So they came over and they gave us some octopus. So Luma knows how to cook octopus, so we decided to take it, and they didn't want to take any money. So I gave them some cold drinks and they were refusing the money, and I pretended I was going to throw the money in the water, so they took some of the money. But really just so sweet. The people here, it's not all about money, it's about exchange and friendliness and kind of an exchange of cultures, even if you don't speak the same language.
The next day, a bunch of us took the dinghies out so that we could go snorkeling on the reef. That's one thing that's really fun with the rally, is doing things together as a group and just having a lot of fun in the water together.
We're still in Taka Bonerate and all the rally boats arrived, so we invited everybody over, but we had to tell them bring your own booze because we're seriously running out.
We're worse than seriously running out. We have no more Campari.
And you just can't buy alcohol in Indonesia, and sometimes you can't even find beer, but we don't drink beer, so this has been a little bit of a crisis to run out of alcohol. But we're rationing. We're on rations. We're hoping that in Labuan Bajo, which has an expat community, we will have some luck.
Yeah, to get some more Campari.
Or else you're going to have to learn to drink scotch, because we have lots of scotch on board. Yeah, so
it's good for my liver. It's definitely good for my liver.
And it's about to get crowded, so I'll give a shot when the boat's full of people here.
The next day, Saga arrived as most of us were leaving. And in typical Saga fashion, as soon as they got anchored, they started getting the wing foils out. We watched them as we sailed towards the pass and out on to the next destination.
We're just leaving the pass and we're heading toward Taka Bonerate for a night, and then we'll do a day sail to Labuan Bajo.
As usual in Indonesian waters, we had to keep a sharp lookout for these fishing huts, anchored in very deep water. The boats were sharing the position of these, so it did appear that they were somewhat anchored.
2,000 feet deep.
Oh, no, more than that.
It's between 3,000 and 6,000. It's probably like about 5,000 feet of water.
But it'd be a very long cable, so the position's going to be changing a lot.
A mile long cable, absolutely, depending on the current. Mostly the current.
In sailing, we're always attuned to the weather, always plotting our next move. The weather forecasts in Indonesia haven't been very good. They're just not spot on. But with Starlink on board, we're always updating the weather. With our most recent weather download, it looked like the wind was going to die completely the very next day. So we debated about sailing overnight. While there are potential obstacles, there are few obstacles reported past the Taka Bonerate Islands en route to Labuan Bajo. So we chose an overnight sail rather than stopping at one of the southernmost islands. So prepping for the night, I took a nap, missing a photo op when BioTrek passed 2 canoes. Still, here are some shots that Pierre and 2 canoes captured. It's always a thrill to see friends at sea. When I woke up, 2 canoes was in the distance. As dawn broke, we sailed into Labuan Bajo, concluding our overnight voyage. We dropped our anchor in a picturesque bay just north of the city, which was a perfect spot for swimming and paddleboarding. We would dive in literally the very next day with a scuba diving trip to the Komodo Islands via a fast boat. And oh, it was mesmerizing, the beauty of those reefs. So stay tuned for our upcoming video where we'll dive into the heart of Labuan Bajo. And before we wrap up this episode, don't miss our stunning underwater shots, which will be right after Catherine shares the reasons for her departure from BioTrek.
Lisa and I have been friends for a very long time, and she's been on this amazing adventure of sailing around the world. And she's asked me over and over and over again, when am I going to be coming? Am I going to join them in French Polynesia, or when am I going to be joining them? And then there was a whole confluence of events that happened that really started with my job. I was working on 2 very exciting programs, and the company decided to cancel my programs. I was really heartbroken, and I was very uncertain about what the future was going to be and what I was going to be doing next. And I had reached out to Lisa and I told her about the situation, and she said to me, you know, every cloud has a silver lining, and maybe this is the right time that you just think about coming and joining us and sailing around the world. So
I said, just quit. But you said, well, I can't quit because it was a bit complicated.
Yes, it was complicated. There were contracts and things that if I just quit, it would be a little bit challenging. And then at the same time, you have to think about, what am I going to do in the future? And Lisa was like, just come sailing. But I did interview at a few positions, and there was one position that I was very excited about. It was an opportunity to go back and work in rare diseases and work on potential products that are going to transform patients' lives. And so this story has a really great thing, because I got to come and spend a month here with Lisa and Pierre, and I got to meet Luma, and I got to really get to know Tilla and have a wonderful adventure with them. And my biggest regret is I didn't do this sooner, and I didn't do this more often.
Yeah.
And then very excitingly, I was offered the position to go and work on rare diseases and to go and work with a new company. So everything worked out perfectly.
And you're very excited because she's been talking about the new job. So
Yeah.
sad to leave, but also happy to go back to a new challenge.
Yes, a new adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And now for some underwater shots of the beautiful Komodo Islands.
Looking quite beige, need something to last and give satisfaction. No. Help me, grab his right arm. Help me, I'll take the left. Oh, help me, interrogate him. How big is your love? Tell me, how high is your patience? What can I be saying? I wanna catch the wave. How big is your love? Tell me, how high is your patience? What can I be saying? I wanna catch the wave. Hey, all this fake news. Tell me, what is the use? Tell me, there's no more compassion. No. Come and find me under these layers, among these taxpayers. There's no satisfaction. No. I said, help me, help myself. Oh, give me down from the shelf. Oh, help me dislocate. How big is your love? Tell me, how high is your patience? What can I be saying? I wanna catch the wave. Now, how big is your love? Tell me, how high is your patience? Can I be saying? I wanna catch the wave. Hold on, he will break you and me. We will go there, have no fear, my dear.
We make these videos to share our enjoyment of our ocean world with you. We'd really appreciate it if you subscribe and give us a like. And if you like these videos, consider a donation to the Alliance to Cure. This is a foundation that we support. They're trying to find a cure for the disease of cerebral cavernous malformation. And you can find more information on the links in the comments below and also on our websites.
What can I be saying?
100% of contributions go to the foundation, and the foundation can give a tax receipt.